So now we're looking at activity 11, listening for major points. So remember that the lecture for chapter 3 is divided into 2 parts instead of 1. Do you think this lecture is harder than the first chapter and the second chapter? Mm-hmm. Yes? Raise your hand if you think this is more difficult. Good. Everybody thinks it's more difficult. That's right, because you know why? We want to push you more, to try to help you learn more difficult things. But we'll take it step by step. That's why we broke the lecture into 2 parts, so we could take a little bit at a time and try to learn how to listen, and the best way, some strategies that will help us. Okay? So in this part, the first part we listened to was the introduction, right? Remember the introduction? And we answered about 8 or 9 questions about that last time we were in class. And I think you probably listened to your CD at home, didn't you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now, after the introduction, the lecturer begins to present some new information, right? So he explains all of the themes of geography, and he also uses one place as a specific example. He uses Boston. You know Boston? Boston is in Massachusetts. Is it near us here in California, or is it far from us?
Far.
It's very far from us. It's about 3,000 miles away from us, east of us, in fact. So using Boston, the lecturer gives examples to help us understand each theme. And when you listen for the first time, or probably the second time now because you listened at least one time, then you're going to focus on hearing the major themes. Now, I gave each of you some coins. How many coins did I give you?
5.
5. Good. Okay, so you've got 5 pennies in your hand. Okay, well, don't put them in your hand. Now just put them on your book, okay? So you can just put these pennies on your book. And what we want you to do is leave your hand empty for now, but whenever you hear the lecturer talking about a particular theme, then you're going to take one of the pennies and you're going to put it in your hand. You'll hold it in your hand, okay? So you hold a penny in your hand. Are you holding pennies in your hand right now?
No.
Why not? We haven't started the lecture yet. Right? Okay, so we're not going to put the pennies in the hand until we hear the lecture and we hear the lecturer talk about one of the themes of geography. All right. So do you see the picture in the book? It's a picture of Boston, and it reminds me a little bit of San Francisco because there are some tall buildings in the city center, just like there are in San Francisco. And then there are some lower buildings in other places. It's kind of like a lot of big cities, right? Now, another reason that it reminds me of San Francisco is because it's located on a bay, just like San Francisco is located on a bay. Have you been to San Francisco? Raise your hand if you've been to San Francisco. Okay, raise your hand if you've been to Boston. Okay, so you can, if you haven't been to Boston yet, don't worry, you're going to go to Boston in your dreams. Okay? I was in Boston a couple of years ago for a conference for teachers of English. I usually go to these conferences many times per year, and we have one international conference. And last year we went to New Orleans. New Orleans is in Louisiana, and before that we were in Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah. So every year we go to a different location. So Boston was one place, and we went out on the bay in a boat, in a ship. So we sailed around in the ship for a little while, and that was kind of a nice thing. But most of the time I was inside the convention center, giving presentations and listening to other teachers talk about how to teach English and how we can help our students learn more and how we can learn more professionally. Okay, so when you look at that, you can see the skyline and you can see some water. So it's located on the water where the Charles River comes down into the bay. Yeah, that's Boston. Okay, now I wonder if you're going to be ready to put a coin in your hand when he starts talking, when the lecturer starts talking about one of the themes.
Part 2.
Let me explain how these 5 themes apply to Boston, okay? Where is Boston?
Massachusetts.
That's right, Massachusetts. Okay, and where is Massachusetts? I mean, in relation to the rest of the country. You know, in the north or south, in the east or west.
The Northeast.
Right, it's in the Northeast. Let's see. Okay, here's a map of the United States. So, where is Boston?
In the Northeast. In Massachusetts.
Good, you got it. So the question, where is Boston, is about its location. That is the first theme of geography. What's the first theme?
Location.
Right, location.
Okay, can I see your hand, please? Do you have anything in your hand? You have 1 coin? Okay, that's good. Because this coin represents which theme? The theme of location. Very good. It's a theme of location. Okay, so we have 1 coin in our hand so far. And are we finished with it, or are we going to start listening for some other ones? Other ones too, right. Good. Let's listen.
What's the first theme?
Location.
What's
Right,
the first theme?
location.
Location, right.
Okay,
Okay.
there are 2 types
2
of
types
location.
of location.
Just
So
now, we answered this
we answered this
question in
question
terms of its relative
in terms of
location.
its relative location. Is this a new topic or same topic? Same topic of location, just one part of it, relative.
Relative location describes
Relative
where a
location
certain
describes
area
where
is,
a certain location, certain place is
in relation to
in relation
another
to
area.
another area.
Boston lies in the northeast
northeast
corner of the United
corner of
States,
the United
next to the
States,
Atlantic Ocean.
Next to the Atlantic Ocean.
Another way to answer the
Another way to
question,
answer the question,
where is Boston, is to use absolute
absolute
location.
Location. Is this the same topic or different topic? Same topic, it's just a subtopic.
That means we use the coordinates
We
of
use the
latitude
coordinates of latitude
and longitude.
Longitude. So on a globe, the latitude and the longitude.
To give the
And that will
answer.
give us our coordinates.
For example, Boston's absolute location is
Boston's
42 degrees
absolute
north latitude
location.
and 71 degrees west
Oh,
longitude.
did you catch that? So do you know where the absolute location of Boston is? Did he tell us? Yes, he told us the absolute location is 42 degrees north latitude. That means north of the equator, and 71 degrees west longitude, and that means west of the 0 line, which goes through England. And that one doesn't change. It always, no matter how much the Earth moves, it stays the same. So that's why we call it absolute location. So are we still in the same theme, or have we started a new theme yet? Is this still the same theme? What is the theme? Location. The theme is location, right. Let's continue.
Moving on to the next
Moving on
theme,
to the next
let's
theme,
ask the question, what is Boston like?
What is Boston like?
To describe Boston,
Boston,
place,
place.
the second theme of geography,
Second theme
can
of
help you answer
geography
this question.
Can help you answer this
Place.
question. Place.
Refers to both the physical
Refers to both
factors and the human factors
factors
that make one area
factors
different from another.
Make one area different from another.
Physical factors and the human factors.
and the human
Physical
factors.
characteristics
Physical
are
characteristics
natural features,
are
such as
natural features,
physical setting,
such as physical setting,
plants, animals, and weather.
and weather.
Boston sits on a
Boston
hilly
sits on a
peninsula.
peninsula.
You see, it's
You see,
surrounded by
surrounded
water.
by water.
There's the Charles
There's the
River to
Charles
the west
River to the west,
and Boston Bay to the
and
east.
Boston Bay to the east.
Those are
Those are
physical characteristics.
characteristics.
Now,
Now,
human characteristics
characteristics
include cultural
include
diversity.
cultural diversity.
For example,
Boston
Boston includes African Americans as well as people of Irish, Italian, Chinese, and Hispanic origin. Lots of different people. Very diverse.
Diverse.
The question, what is Boston
question,
like,
what is Boston
is
like,
also
is also
answered by
answered by
describing the
describing
things people have made,
the things people have
including
made,
language,
language,
the arts, and
and
architecture. So physical and human factors both affect place, the second theme of geography.
of
Place.
Geography.
Right.
Place.
Okay. What about
What
region?
about region?
Region?
Yes,
Region?
region.
Region.
This is another theme
This is
of
another
geography.
theme.
You see,
This is
geographers can't easily study the whole world, the entire world at one time. So they break the world into regions. A region can be as large as a continent or it can be as small as a neighborhood. A region has certain shared characteristics that make it different from other areas. So within a region, there are shared or common characteristics. These characteristics might include political division, climate, language, or religion. We already talked about the fact that Boston is part of the Northeast region, right? Well, New York and Philadelphia are part of the Northeast region, too. These cities share a climate called continental temperate. This is one of the reasons they belong to the same region. The same region.
So how many coins have you got in your hand right now? You've got 3. Okay, the first one is location, and the other one, the second one was place, and the third coin is for region. Okay, so I have 3 in my hand, and I hope you have 3 too. Shall we continue? All right, let's do that.
Okay. The fourth
Okay.
theme of geography
The
is
fourth
movement.
theme of geography is
What is it?
movement. What is it?
Movement.
Yes. Movement of people,
Yes, movement of
goods,
people,
and
goods,
ideas
and
from one
ideas
place to
from one
another.
place to
Now, people
another.
constantly
Now, people
move in search of
constantly
better
move in
places
search
to
of
live, you know?
better places to
And
live,
they
you know?
trade goods
And
with
they
each other
trade goods
over
with each
great
other
distances.
over great distances.
Movement also
Movement
causes
also
ideas
causes
to travel from
ideas
place to
to
place.
travel from place to
Boston
place.
considers itself the
Boston
cradle
considers
of
itself the
liberty.
Cradle of liberty. Cradle. Cradle is a little bed for a baby, and usually the beginning place, so the birthplace. The birthplace of an idea is the cradle of
The
liberty.
origin of liberty.
It's the origin.
You know about the
origin,
American Revolution
the
against
origin.
England?
You know about the
Well,
American
the
Revolution against
concepts
England?
of freedom
Well,
and
the
self-government
concepts
that
of freedom and
developed in the
self-government
Boston
that
area,
developed in the Boston area,
these
you know,
concepts spread to the other colonies, and that movement
and
led to the
movement led
formation
to
of the independent United States.
independent United
That's an
States.
example of movement.
That's an example of movement. Okay, so how many coins have you got in your hand now? 4. What is the fourth one for? Movement, right. Okay, and movement can include people moving, and goods or things moving, and also what else? Ideas, right. Ideas can move from one place to another. Are you ready for the rest of it? Yeah? Okay, here we go. Here's the rest of the lecture.
Human-environment interaction is the fifth theme. Human-environment interaction. This last theme refers to the ways that people interact with their environment. For instance, building a road or cutting down a tree, or even sitting in the sun. All of these actions are types of human-environment interaction. As you can imagine, some of the interaction is not so good for the environment. Like what? Like traffic jams. But other kinds of human-environment interaction are helpful, such as the 6 miles of green parkland in Boston called the Emerald Necklace. Emerald, you know, the green gemstone, and necklace, the long stretch of green parkland. Both positive and negative human-environment interaction. All right, so that's it. This semester, we'll explore all of these 5 themes of geography in America: location, place, region, movement, and human-environment interaction. And I'm sure through these studies, you'll gain a better understanding of this great land.
How's that? How many do you have coins in your hands? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Good. Okay. So let's take one coin and tell what theme it is. The first coin is for? Location. Ding, 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 ding. And the second coin is for? Place. Place. And the third coin is for? Region. Region. And the fourth coin is for? Movement. Movement. And the fifth coin is for? Place. Place. And the sixth coin is for? Place. Place. And the seventh coin is for? Region. Region. And the eighth coin is for? Location. Ding, 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 ding. And the second coin is for? Place. Ding, 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 ding. What else? The third one? Region. Okay, ding, 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 ding. And the fourth one is for? Movement. Ding, 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 ding. And the fifth one is for? Human environment interacting. Ding, 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 ding. So now have you got all 5 themes of geography? Good, and you've got them all in your hand. So after you've collected all the 5 coins, you are rich with information. And that's your introduction to the course. If you stay in that geography course, you'll probably learn a lot more details for that, right? So maybe you will take a geography course here at the college and you'll understand more about those themes. So we talk about those themes of geography starting in elementary school, and students learn about different themes and give some examples. Now, the example that we heard in this lecture is from Boston. So for example, they gave the example of an emerald necklace. And the emerald necklace is the name of what? A bay or a park or a mountain? Did you get the idea? Okay, so he talked about a necklace, and he said it's a great green parkland, okay? Because parks are considered to be green, right? With lots of grass and green plants, trees. So what is a necklace? Well, you know what a necklace is. I'm wearing a necklace. See, here's my necklace. Okay, so look at my necklace. I know a lot of you said you like the color, not the collar. The color. Did you tell me? What did you tell me? Color, right. You said you really like this color. All right, and this is my necklace. So a necklace is round, isn't it? So here's my necklace. I wore my necklace for you. But unfortunately, I don't have an emerald necklace. I have an amethyst necklace. So the amethyst necklace is purple. This gemstone is purple, right? If I had an emerald necklace, I would wear it for you. But I haven't got one yet. Maybe next year. Maybe when I retire. Okay, so a necklace, they called it that because it's green and it goes around the bay. So all of the green land. You understand? Yeah, okay. So, people create parks, so that's your human-environment interaction. The humans change the environment to create the park, and then after that there's environment-human interaction because the park is nice so people want to go there, right? So that's what inter means. Interaction means one action here and one action there. The action's back and forth. And they talk about that. Some of them are good, and some of them are bad. Which is the good example, the positive example that the lecturer talked about? Which one was positive in the lecture? Was the parkland, is that positive or not? Yeah. That's positive, good. Okay, and did you hear one that he said that was negative? The traffic jams, yeah. Have you had experience with traffic jams?
Yes.
Yes, and who creates the traffic jams? We do, right? The people, we get in our cars and we start driving all over, and then everybody else starts driving all over too, and then we're on the roads. And how did the roads get there in the first place? People made them, right? Humans made those roads, so that's an interaction that we have with our environment. The roads weren't there to begin with, but then the people created them, and then we started getting on them, and now it gets very crowded. Okay, so is the lecture easier for you to understand now?
Yes.
Okay, so you're understanding the main points. That's wonderful. All right, let's do